In the afternoon sunlight, the dust motes dance as my fingers run over the yellowed parchment. Across the brittle paper, the family tree sprawls. Its branches extend in all directions. But my eye is caught by the gaps. Dozens of them. Names end abruptly. With no explanation, branches are cut short. Only emptiness remains. My name is Eleanor Webb, and my grandmother's Victorian house in New England was inherited by me 2 weeks ago. I never expected to find myself here, sorting through centuries of family history. But after Gran's funeral, the keys were handed to me by the family lawyer. "She wanted you to have it," he said. "Only you." Why, I didn't understand. Only a handful of times as a child had I visited the house. When I was young, my father had a falling out with Gran, and afterward, we rarely spoke of her. When I asked why, he would tense up. "Some family is better kept at a distance," he would say. Now at 32, with both my parents gone and no siblings, the reluctant caretaker of a family legacy I barely understood is what I found myself to be. The house itself is a looming 3-story Victorian, all-peaked roofs and narrow windows, sitting on the outskirts of a small coastal town called Ravens Hollow. The town was founded by people fleeing witch trials in the 1700s, according to local legends. Whether that's true or not, something undeniably eerie is about the place. The locals are polite but reserved, and since I arrived, more than a few curious glances have been caught by me. Along one of the branches of the Webb family tree, I trace my finger, following it to one of those mysterious gaps. Elizabeth Webb, born 1887, and then nothing. No death date, no connecting lines to children, just gone, like so many others. "What happened to you?" I whisper, as if the paper might answer back. Behind me, a floorboard creaks and I jump, nearly knocking over the lamp on the desk. It's just the house settling, I tell myself, though the feeling of being watched I can't shake. All week, strange things I've been finding. Hidden compartments in the walls filled with old letters. Photographs with faces scratched out. And Gran's journals, dozens of them, filled with cryptic references to the family burden and keeping the bloodline pure. Today, behind a false panel in the library, I found this family tree tucked away. It's the most complete record I've found so far, dating back to the 1700s. But these gaps, they can't all be coincidences. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Dr. Harrison, the local historian I've been consulting. Asterisk found something in town records about your family. Call me. Asterisk his number I dial, and on the second ring, he picks up. Elena. I was going through some old census data and I noticed something odd about the Webbs. "Let me guess," I say. "People disappearing without explanation." "Yes, exactly," he says, sounding surprised. "How did you know?" "About the family tree," I tell him. "It's not just 1 or 2 people, Dr. Harrison. It's dozens across generations." "That's unusual," he says carefully. "I also found references to something called the preservation in connection with your family. Does that mean anything to you?" I think of Gran's journals. Maybe. I need to look into it more. Thank you for letting me know. After hanging up, to the family tree I returned, studying it more carefully. Something I missed before, I noticed. Small symbols next to some of the names. A circle with a dot in the center, always next to people who disappear. The doorbell rings, startling me again. When I answer, an elderly woman standing on the porch, leaning on a cane, is what I find. "You must be Eleanor," she says. "I'm Margaret Winters. I was friends with your grandmother." I invite her in, and into an armchair in the living room she settles, her eyes darting around as if looking for something. "I came to warn you," she says without preamble. "This house, it has secrets. Secrets that should stay buried." "What kind of secrets?" I ask, thinking of the family tree. Margaret's eyes lock onto mine. "Your grandmother was a keeper, like her mother before her. It's in your blood, too, I expect." "A keeper of what?" Her head she shakes. "I've said too much already." Just be careful what doors you open in this house. Some were closed for a reason. Abruptly, she stands. I should go. They wouldn't like me talking to you. Who wouldn't like it? I ask, but already she's heading for the door. If you start hearing the humming, she says over her shoulder, cover your ears and run. Don't listen, no matter how beautiful it sounds. And then she's gone, leaving me with more questions than answers. That night, of dark corridors and whispered voices I dream. At 3:17 a.m., I wake up, sweating despite the chill in the room. My bedroom door is open, though before going to bed I'm certain I closed it. To close it, I get up, and as I reach for the handle, I hear it. A faint humming from somewhere deep within the house. A melody that sounds almost familiar, yet not quite human. Margaret's warning echoes in my mind. Asterisk if you start hearing the humming, cover your ears and run. Asterisk. Instead, for light I grab my phone and step into the hallway. Slightly louder the humming grows as I move toward the stairs. From below, it's coming. Under my weight, the stairs creak as I descend to the first floor. To the library the humming leads me, where I found the family tree, but it doesn't stop there. From below the floor, it seems to be coming. Along the baseboards I run my hands, looking for anything unusual. In the corner of the room, behind a heavy bookcase, I find it. A small indentation in the wood. When I press it, a click there is and a section of the floor slides away, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. From down there, the humming is definitely coming. Common sense tells me to call someone, to wait until morning, but something pulls at me. I need to know, to understand what happened to all those missing relatives. Down the stairs, I shine my phone light. They're made of stone, worn smooth in the center from countless feet. How old is this passage? And in my explorations of the house, how did I miss it? A deep breath taking, I begin to descend. With each step, the air grows colder, carrying a musty, metallic scent. Abruptly, the humming stops, replaced by a silence so complete it feels like pressure against my eardrums. At the bottom of the stairs is a heavy wooden door with an iron handle. No lock, no markings, just waiting to be opened. I hesitate, Margaret's warning ringing in my ears. But this far I've come. The handle I pull, and with surprising ease, the door swings open. Beyond, a cellar larger than should be possible given the size of the house above lies. My phone light barely penetrates the darkness, but stone walls lined with shelves and what looks like laboratory equipment on tables in the center of the room I can make out. I step inside and behind me, the door swings shut with a heavy thud. Around I spin, heart racing, but on this side, there's no handle, just smooth wood. Trapped, I'm. Trying not to panic, back to the room I turn. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, a switch on the wall I notice. I flip, an ancient electric light sputter to life, illuminating the cellar in a harsh glow. What I see makes my blood run cold. The room is indeed a laboratory of sorts, but unlike any I've seen before. The shelves along the walls hold hundreds of glass jars, each containing what looks like organs, tissue samples. With names and dates, each jar is meticulously labeled. With trembling hands, the nearest shelf I approach. At eye level, the jar is labeled *Elizabeth Webb, 1887. Cerebrum. Elizabeth from the family tree. The one with no death date. Along the shelf I move, reading more labels. Thomas Webb, 1912. Mary Webb, 1943. All names from the gaps in the family tree. In the center of the room stands a large stone table, its surface stained dark with what I fear is blood. From each corner, leather restraints hang. Beside it, a smaller table holds surgical instruments that look centuries old alongside more modern equipment, syringes, vials, a centrifuge. On a desk in the corner, stacks of notebooks I find, the handwriting changing over the decades, but the purpose seemingly the same. The most recent one, dated just a year before Gran died, I open. *Subject 147 shows promising adaptation to the serum. Cellular regeneration improved by 42% compared to subject 146. The preservation continues to advance, though slower than our ancestors hoped. With each generation, we come closer to the ultimate goal, true immortality. More pages I flip through, horrified yet unable to stop reading. The notebooks detail experiments spanning centuries. Experiments on family members who showed signs of what they called the gift. Those without it were allowed to live normal lives, marry, have children, continuing the bloodline in hopes of producing more with the gift. Those who had it were brought to this cellar. A noise from behind makes me whirl around. A panel in the wall has slid open, revealing another room, and silhouetted in the doorway is a figure I recognize from photographs. My great-uncle Walter, who supposedly died 30 years ago, except he doesn't look like he's in his 90s. He looks maybe 60, his face unnaturally smooth for his age. "Eleanor," he says, his voice raspy from disuse. "We've been waiting for you to find your way down here. Your grandmother was certain you had the gift." "Uncle Walter?" I back away until I hit the desk. "You're alive?" In a manner of speaking. Fully into the room he steps, and I see that his movements are stiff, unnatural. The preservation is not perfect yet. We sustain ourselves, but at a cost. What cost? I ask, though the answer I fear I know. The specimens you see around you, he gestures to the jars, are failed attempts, parts that couldn't be repurposed. My stomach churns. You've been experimenting on our family, killing them. Not killing, Walter corrects. Preserving what makes us special. The gift is rare, even in our bloodline. When we find one who has it, we must harvest it for the greater work. What gift? What are you talking about? Regeneration, Eleanor. Healing, longevity. Some in our family are born with cells that can repair themselves indefinitely. The first Webb to discover this was Josiah in 1764. He dedicated his life to understanding it, to replicating it. Every generation since has continued his work. Including Gran, my voice catches. Asterisk, especially asterisk your grandmother. She was brilliant. Made more progress in her lifetime than the previous 3 generations combined. A step toward me he takes. And she was certain you inherited the gift. That's why she left you the house. She wanted you to continue her work. By experimenting on people? Killing family members. My head I shake. I would never. You misunderstand. We don't seek out those with the gift to harm them. His smile makes my skin crawl. We seek them out to welcome them into the inner family, to make them like us. And what exactly are you? I ask, though the answer I'm not sure I want. Walter's smile widens, revealing teeth that are too perfect, too white. Improved. Enhanced. The closest thing to immortal this world has seen. From the room behind him, more figures emerge. Men and women of various ages, all with that same unnatural smoothness to their skin, that same stiffness in their movements. From family photographs, I recognize some. My great-aunt Judith, my second cousin Thomas, and my father. Dad. I whisper, tears welling in my eyes. The man who looks like my father regards me with cold eyes. Hello, Elena. It's been a long time. You're not my father, I say, backing away further. My father is dead. I buried him. You buried a body, he corrects. I left when I realized what your grandmother planned for you. I tried to keep you away from all this. But in the end, blood calls to blood. What do you want from me? I demand, trying to keep my voice steady. We want you to join us, Walter says. To become part of the preservation. Your grandmother tested your blood when you were a child. You have the strongest markers for the gift that we've seen in generations. And if I refuse? The room falls silent. Then Walter sighs. No one refuses, Elena. This is your heritage, your destiny. Frantically, I glance around, looking for a way out. The door I came through is sealed. The other exit is blocked by the group of whatever they are. And then I notice something. A small red button under the desk, partially hidden. An alarm? A different exit? Either way, my only chance it is. Time, I say, trying to sound reasonable. To process all this. It's a lot to take in. Glances with the others Walter exchanges. Of course. We've waited decades. We can wait a little longer. To the notebooks he gestures. Read your grandmother's research. Understand the importance of what we're doing here. The preservation isn't just about extending our lives. It's about elevating humanity. As he speaks, toward the button I inch my hand. My fingers brush against it just as Walter's eyes narrow in suspicion. What are you? My palm down on the button I slam. For a moment, nothing happens. Then a high-pitched wailing fills the cellar and the lights begin to flash red. Beneath my feet, the floor trembles. No. Walter lunges toward me, but he's too late. The ceiling of the cellar cracks and chunks of stone begin to fall. The others scatter, screaming. Under the desk I dive as a support beam crashes down where I was standing. What have you done? Walter shouts over the alarm. You've triggered the purge protocol. The what? I yell back. If the cellar is compromised, everything is destroyed. Your grandmother installed it as a failsafe. The room continues to shake, more debris falling. The shelves of specimens topple, glass shattering across the floor. Through the hidden door, I see Walter and the others retreating, abandoning me to my fate. From cracks in the walls, water begins to pour in. No, not water. Like gasoline, it smells. Out, I need to get now. From under the desk I scramble and make a run for the hidden door, dodging falling debris. Ankle deep already, the gasoline is, and from damaged electrical wires, I can see sparks. The door I reach just as it begins to slide closed. Forward I throw myself, barely making it through before it seals shut with a hiss. In a narrow tunnel, dimly lit by emergency lights, I find myself. Behind me, a asterisk whoosh asterisk I hear an intense heat feel as the gasoline ignites. With the force of the explosion, the tunnel shudders. Blindly forward I run, following the tunnel as it slopes upward. After what seems like an eternity, another door I reach. Through it I push and emerge into the night air, gasping. In the woods behind the house, From here, I can see flames erupting from the ground floor windows as the fire spreads upward from the cellar. In the distance, I hear sirens. Someone must have seen the flames. For help, I should wait. Tell the authorities everything. But something tells me they wouldn't believe me. And if any of those things survived, for me they might be looking. Away, I need to get. To figure out what to do next. As I turn to flee into the woods, a hand grasps my ankle I feel. I scream and kick, looking down to see Walter's face, half burned, but still moving. Still alive despite injuries that should be fatal. The gift, he gasps, his fingers digging into my skin. You have it, too. I can feel it. You'll heal like we do. Join us, Eleanor. Continue the work. Free of his grasp I kick and stagger backward. Never. This ends with me. Walter laughs, a horrible sound from his damaged throat. It never ends. The preservation goes back centuries. We have contingencies, other labs, other branches of the family. My blood runs cold. What do you mean, other branches? Your grandmother wasn't the only keeper, he says, his body beginning to twitch unnaturally as some kind of healing process attempts to repair his burns. The Webb family is vast, with many gaps in its history. Many cellars like this one. Away I back, shaking my head. I'll find them. I'll stop all of you. You can try. Walter's laugh turns into a cough as his damaged lungs struggle. But first, you'd better run, because when I finish healing, I'm coming for you. And I'm not the only one. Into the woods I turn and sprint, not looking back, even as the house that held my family's darkest secrets burns to the ground behind me. Until my lungs burn and my legs threaten to give out, I run. When I finally stop to catch my breath, my phone I pull out. No signal out here in the woods. To town, I need to get. To warn someone, though, who would believe me? No proof now I have. Just the ravings of a woman who claims her family has been conducting immortality experiments for centuries. As I lean against a tree, trying to decide what to do next, something strange I notice. A cut on my hand from climbing through the tunnel, already scabbing over. A cut that should be fresh and bleeding. Too fast, it's healing. Walter's words I think of. Asterisk, you have it, too. You'll heal like we do. Asterisk. The gift. Whatever it is, whatever they've been searching for all these generations, I might have it. No. I refuse to accept that I'm like them. That I'm destined to become one of those hollow-eyed, stiff-moving creatures who sacrifice their own family for the sake of prolonging their unnatural lives. But if I do have this ability, to stay ahead of them, I can use it. To find the other labs Walter mentioned. To end this once and for all. From the tree I push off and continue walking, following the distant lights of the town. As I walk, about the family tree with all its mysterious gaps I think. Now I know what those gaps represent. Not deaths, but transformations. People taken to become part of the inner family. Their organs and tissues harvested if they failed. Their minds warped if they survived. How many other family trees have similar gaps, I wonder? How many other families harbor secrets as dark as the webs? By dawn, the outskirts of town I reach. Into a small motel I steal and pay cash for a room, giving a false name. Once inside, in the bathroom mirror I examine myself. Completely healed, the cut on my hand is. Not even a scar remaining. And now that I'm looking for it, other small injuries I notice. A bruise on my arm from hitting the desk. A scrape on my cheek from debris. All healing before my eyes. I do have it. The gift. To the bathroom floor I sink, tears streaming down my face. What am I? What am I becoming? No. I am still Eleanor Webb. By my DNA or by my family's twisted legacy, I am not defined. Whatever abilities I have, to stop them I will use, not join them. A shower I take, washing away the soot and grime from the cellar. Then with the motel's complimentary notepad I sit down and begin to write everything I can remember from the notebooks I saw, names, dates, locations that might lead to other labs. Methodical, I need to be. Careful, I need to be. The inner family, as Walter called them, has had centuries to establish themselves, to hide their work. Easy to find or to stop, they won't be. But something they don't expect I have, one of their own, working against them. As I write, something else I realize. If my father was one of them, was my mother as well? Was I born, or as part of their experiments was I created? The thought aside I push. It doesn't matter now. What matters is stopping them before they can continue their work. Before more names disappear from more family trees. A soft knock at my door makes me freeze. I wait, barely breathing. Again the knock comes, followed by a whispered, "Eleanor?" It's Margaret Winters. "Please, I know you're in there. I want to help." Cautiously, I approach the door. "How did you find me?" "I've been watching the house," she says through the door. "I saw the fire, so you escape. Please, let me in. We don't have much time." I hesitate, then the door I unlock. Inside, Margaret slips, looking even more frail in the harsh motel lighting. "You opened the cellar," she says. It's not a question. I nod. "About it all along, you knew." "Supposed to be part of it, I was," she says, sitting heavily on the edge of the bed. "Your grandmother and I grew up together. When we were teenagers, they tested us both. She had the gift. I didn't. So, they let you go." I say, understanding now. Not exactly. People like me they keep around as watchers, as helpers. People who know enough to be useful, but not enough to be dangerous. My gaze she meets. Until now. Now, dangerous I'm choosing to be. Why help me? Because for 70 years I've watched as they took people, good people, down to that cellar. I've helped cover up disappearances, spread stories about accidents and illnesses. In her lap, her hands twist. Tired of being part of it, I am, Eleanor. And when I saw you or of your grandmother before the preservation consumed her, before she became one of them, you reminded me so much. What exactly are they? I asked. Walter said. Not quite immortal, they're, but the preserved they call themselves. Their bodies heal, but their minds, something happens to them over time. Their humanity, piece by piece, they lose. The older ones, the ones who've been around for centuries, barely human at all anymore, they are. A chill runs down my spine. And like them, they want me to become. Special, you are, even among those with the gift. Your grandmother's tests showed that your cells have an unusually strong regenerative capacity. That's why she left you the house. Why she made sure you'd find your way to the cellar eventually. So, a setup it was all. The inheritance, everything. Margaret nods. But the fire wasn't part of the plan. The purge protocol was only supposed to be used if outsiders discovered the cellar. Your grandmother never imagined you would trigger it. I didn't know what it would do, I say. I just needed to escape. Well, sometime you've bought us. The fire will have destroyed most of the evidence, and many of the preserved who were there will be severely injured. Time to heal, to regroup, it will take them. Other labs, Walter said. Other branches of the family. Yes. The webs are just one branch of what they call the family tree. There are others, with different names, but the same goal, the preservation of their bloodlines, the pursuit of immortality. My list of locations I remembered from the notebooks I show her? Which of these might lead to other labs, do you know? She studies the list, then to several names she points. These towns all have web relatives, or relatives of the other branches. Start with these. With me, will you come? I ask. Her head Margaret shakes. Too old, I am. Too slow. Hold you back, I would only. But resources I can give you. Money, contacts who might help. Into her purse she reaches and pulls out a thick envelope. Take this. Everything I've saved over the years, it is. I always knew someday I'd need to make amends for my part in all this. Hesitantly, the envelope I accept. Thank you. But what will you do now? They'll know you helped me. About me, don't worry, she says with a grim smile. A long life I've lived already, longer than I deserved, given what I've enabled. To leave she stands, then turns back. One more thing, Eleanor. The gift, with a price it comes. The more you heal, the more you use it, the more you'll start to change. Be careful. What you're fighting against, don't become. After Margaret leaves, the money in the envelope I count. Nearly $30,000 in cash. Along with it, a list of names and addresses, people she says might help me, and a small key with no indication of what it opens. The next few days I spend gathering supplies and information. A used car with cash I buy, a prepaid phone, clothes, and other necessities. The towns on my list I research, looking for patterns, for signs of the present's presence. All the while, for signs of change I keep checking my body. Active, the gift is. Small injuries heal within hours, but mentally, the same I feel. Not like the cold, hollow-eyed creatures I saw in the cellar. Not yet, anyway. 1 week after the fire, to leave Raven's Hollow I'm ready. My first destination I've chosen, a small town in the Midwest where, according to my research, several web cousins live. As good a place as any to start unraveling this conspiracy, it is. As I pack the car, a black sedan parked across the street I notice, its windows tinted. I pretend not to see it as I finish loading my bags, but my heart races. They found me. In my car I get and pull out of the motel parking lot, watching in the rearview mirror as the sedan follows at a distance. Instead of heading for the highway, toward the center of town I drive, making random turns, trying to lose my tail. With me, the sedan stays, maintaining the same distance. Whoever is driving knows what they're doing. To confront them, I decide. Into the parking lot of a busy diner I pull and get out, standing beside my car, waiting. A few spaces away, the sedan parks. The driver's door opens and a woman steps out. Young, maybe mid-20s, with features that remind me somehow of my own. Elena Webb, she calls, staying beside her car. "Who's asking?" I reply, tense and ready to run if necessary. "My name is Sophia Blackwood. I believe we're cousins. Several times removed." A step forward she takes, then stops when I back away. "To hurt you, I'm not here. Like you, I am a runner, not one of the preserved." "Prove it," I demand. Her sleeve she rolls up, revealing a forearm crisscrossed with scars. "My tracker I cut out 5 years ago. The preserved embed them in all family members with the gift. Probably one you have, too." Instinctively, my left forearm I touch, remembering a small scar I've had since childhood. "A vaccination, my parents told me." "Then how did you find me?" I ask. "Margaret Winters contacted me before she died." My blood runs cold. "Before she what?" "I'm sorry," Sophia's expression softens. "Her own life she took the day after she met with you. A note she left, exposing everything she knew about the Webb branch of the preservation. The local authorities dismissed it as the ravings of a disturbed old woman, but the preserved know better." Margaret. Another name to add to the toll of this nightmare. "Why should I trust you?" I ask. "Because where you are, I've been. My family's secret I discovered when I was 20. Running ever since I've been, looking for others like us. There are more, Elena. More who want to stop the preservation, not further it. Others with the gift." She nods. "Ourselves we call the severed branches. What we are we use to fight what they do." Hope flickers in my chest for the first time since I opened that cellar door. "How many of you are there?" "Not many. Dozens, scattered across the country. Powerful the preserved are, with resources we can only dream of. But growing, we are. Finding more like you. Family members who reject what their relatives have become." I think of Walter's burned face. Of his promise to find me. Of the other labs, the other branches of this twisted family tree. "What's your plan?" I ask. "How do we stop them?" "They're labs we find, like you were planning to do. Everything we document, build a case that can't be ignored or dismissed, and then public we take it. All of it. Every horrible detail. They'll just disappear. Deeper underground go." "Not if their supply we cut off," Sophia shakes her head. "Rare the gift is, even in the bloodlines they cultivate. If those who have it we can identify and protect them, eventually die out the preserved will. Not quickly. Some of them for centuries have been alive. But eventually. Too simple it sounds, and I say so." "Easy I didn't say it would be," Sophia replies. "Just possible. With your help." Her face I study, looking for signs of deception. But the same determination I feel, the same horror at what our families have done, is all I see. "If with you I come," I say slowly, "everything I need to know. No more secrets." "No more secrets," she agrees. "In your car, get and follow me. Our safe house is about 2 hours from here. On the way, everything I'll explain." As I drive behind Sophia's sedan, heading away from Raven's Hollow and the burned ruins of my grandmother's house, about the family tree I found with all its mysterious gaps, I think. Now I know what those gaps represent. Choices. Some chose to preserve their humanity at the cost of their lives. Others chose extended life at the cost of their souls. If I can trust Sophia or these severed branches she speaks of, I don't know yet, but my choice I've made, I do know that. Whatever this gift is, whatever it might turn me into, to expose the truth I will use it. To stop the preservation. To fill in those gaps with the stories of those who were taken. Ahead the road stretches, leading away from the ruins of my past and toward an uncertain future. But for the first time since I opened that cellar door, something like purpose I feel. Every branch of this twisted family tree I will find. Every hidden cellar I will open. Their secrets into the light I will bring. And perhaps in doing so, who and what I truly am I'll discover.